Another thing. If I assign a water carrier specifically to this cistern, is he like... Doesn't he have anything to do if the production limit or the space is reached? I wonder. Like, is it smarter to say, like, sorry, I don't need any workforce here, but, like, automatically assign him over there? I don't know if that's an efficient way to do it. Maybe just get one at least here. Yeah, I'm wondering. I actually don't know if that's a thing. I just noticed. Let's see. Enough place for buildings. That's good. So we got our first settlers without protection clothing, which is like normal since I told them to not pick up any. And we should build this first before... Well, actually, let's check the radiation. Yeah, okay. I think they will change to other works, but not necessarily working on another system. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's cool, but in the... Like, in the special case that I really want them to collect water, it's probably more efficient to assign them to other systems. But I do not know if this system works like that. I just feel like it would be... Like, logically, you know? And all I can see from now is that we're collecting more water, so probably it really works like that. Where are my workers at now? Okay. What's missing here? Just the building progress, so... Oh, good, good. Okay, now for a second I don't need these builders, but I need refiner. And... yeah, that's alright. Well, that's not exactly alright, since I'm missing a road. And... probably another depository for the first few seasons. Oh, this is horrible. So this is filled up already as well. So deassign like more and assign them over here. How do I have 5? 1, 1, 3. Okay. I have the feeling if you have, let's say, 4 water towers, 20k limit, they work fine to up to 30, 15k, and then they won't get more water. And I think the reason is that some water towers are max cap and the workers start doing other things. Yeah, that's what I mean. I never reached the max cap when I had more than 2 water towers. That's exactly what I mean. Like, once the space is filled up, they probably start doing other things, and if your settlement doesn't have any tasks to do, they're pretty much AFKing. Probably. So if you have this experience, this would totally make sense to me. But for the same time, like assigning multiple, or just like assigning all the water carriers and all their jobs, so 555 would probably help you reach the max cap, but that's just wasted workforce, in my opinion. You know? Like having 15 settlers assigned to 3 cisterns will most likely fill them up pretty fast, but then they're pretty much FKing. And it's not necessary if your water amount still rises with like 12 or 11 assigned, you know? Let's see, what's the issue here? No builders assigned. Yeah, I know that. I know that. Where are those very well designed fields? Yeah, well, probably not going to build them. But what could be interesting, just a second. Well, I could check this here, yeah. We had the issue with some players that not all seats were unlocked for some reason. We didn't know why this happened, and it was just across some players. But this should be fixed now as well. So all my resources are stocking up. That's good. Let's see. 200 food for 1 season. What is the hunter doing? Wow. Way, way more. So, is the hunter more effective because of this? Because it's just a small map and it's more easy for the hunter to gather food, you know, instead of the fisher. Like right now, the hunter has just to move, like, he just needs to look out of his window and sees a deer to shoot. On a bigger map, that's not usually the case. But fisher do get resources always. Like, is that the first trade-off where I see, like, fisher are ineffective on small maps in comparison? Oh, and I always forget this question. Why won't they cover the plantation? Only fields are covered. Is it a bug? I guess so, because the description of the weather station says it would be covered as well. Well, that's most likely a bug. Like, really. The thing with that is that covering fields has been implemented way, way earlier than plantations as such. And I think we never changed the system to take the plantations into account as well. I think that's the only way to explain why it doesn't work. Since it's not really throwing an error, so if you have this this problem, the game doesn't state you that something's wrong. It just says like, okay, cool, I got covered all the plantations and fields now, even if it's not like that. So yeah, that's most likely just a matter of we forgot to change that. Let's say it like this. Yeah, well, so we have our first issues here. I would love that these tabs remain open when I change through buildings. Just a second. I'm right now in contact. Just give me a second. Landmine, to the question you had about the settler bug, I was asking this morning, and I'm going to ask again if it has been fixed. Just a second. So I just asked. Let's see. Let's keep this running. Let's keep this running. So pretty much I could change him to produce metal as well. Like, they produce so much cloth. Since when do they produce so much cloth? That's really interesting. What do we need? We need the tailor. And let's see. Might just place him behind here. And we're starting off with the workshop as well. Wasn't placed too smart, I admit. Yeah, that's placed like so. Well, just give me a second. This is dumb. Cancel this shit. Where is it? The workshop. Can I place it? Well, I fucked up here in my planning, but this should do it Like, if they actually had to run around completely from here to store their resources, this wouldn't be effective at all. So let me check. So, to, like, how it's called? To zitieren in English? Like to say what he said. He stated that in the actual builds, so he tried to fix it. And in the dev build right now, we had testing sessions to around season 50 and nothing like that happened. And no more errors have been thrown. So it should be fixed. Like, let's give this a 90% fixed. To quote, yeah, quote is the word. Give it a 90% fixed. Shouldn't occur anymore. Thank you very much for your effort. I will really appreciate the work you do, and the communication with the community is just awesome. Well, thank you. I really have fun, like, talking to you guys and getting in all this feedback. Like, it's just awesome. I didn't think, like, my job would actually turn this way, that I'm so much in communication with you guys and to see what you're saying. Sounds good. I will do a long-time testing. Yeah, sure. So remember, it's just it's not implemented for your build, but for the upcoming patch. So keep that in mind. But sure, we need long-time testings. We need stress tests for that, for sure. Always. But I'm pretty happy that this has been fixed. It was just such a weird game breaker. Like, I have seen, like, this morning I've seen Splattercat Gaming, like, if you know this YouTuber, has been playing our game. And he was like the perfect example of someone who is used to strategy games, or at least smart enough to get into the logic pretty fast. And he was the perfect example of someone who plays the game like a robot. Like, yeah, this makes sense, I'm going to place it here and here and here, and oh, this doesn't work, so I have to change it properly, like that and stuff. And he explained himself things that actually do not work like he said in our game, but without having the feedback for that. He was just like logically thinking that it works like that, and for new players, there would be no indicator whatsoever why it shouldn't do it like that. So this would be a huge game breaker, since if you do not understand the profession system that well, or you're playing your first 2, 3, 4 sessions like this, you wouldn't actually get why everything is falling apart and not showing the correct numbers and such. Like, imagine you're starting the game off and you see this profession system and suddenly your numbers do not match to your settlers. Like, would you naturally think that this is something you messed up, or it is a bug? Like, you would probably think, oh, I didn't understand that quite good. I should check this again. I will start over and see if it changed and I have to do something else. And it just occurs and happens again. This is frustrating. Especially new players wouldn't know at all why this is a problem. So, good thing we fixed that. And quite interesting, again, like Landmiele, I think we proved it. We changed the we changed the settler amount from this system to 1, down to 1, here down to 1, and assigned all settlers to work here. And now this is the only system that is filled up, so we were right about that as well. If the storage is full, water carriers do not naturally help out at another cistern. They just do other stuff in the settlement. I really don't know if that's a good thing, like game feel wise, because you would expect the carriers to help out there. But it gives a new layer of metagaming and micromanagement, which I personally find pretty cool. Which makes you look at your buildings and see if everything is still working out or some storage is running full and stuff. So I personally like it. But yeah, again, that's just me. Let's see, do I want to store raw materials? Actually not, actually no food, because I need these tools and stuff here. Yeah, okay. What do we need next? We have the basic supply running. I'm a huge fan of the solar collector early on now. I'm just a huge fan. It works so good. Let's see. Should we go for a refinery first? Unless we have enough wood. Well, that's the thing. I usually build a refinery pretty early on, but this time I'm not willing to actually expand around here, but more around here. And just looking at the scrap amount, like, look at this. This is just, wow. So I'm moving back, I'm moving up here and building another scrapyard. So my refinery would be placed here. But if I do this now, this is just not working. So, give me a second. I'm building another recycler just to get enough resources in. And I'm going to tell these guys here, go for electronics to get the solar collector done. Yep, I feel like it's a good thing. It adds more random factor to the game and makes it harder. Well, okay, yeah, that's good, that's good. But I guess the game needs a normal and a hard modulator. For many casual games, this may be too much and too hard to find out. Well, that's the thing, like, I think casual gamers could potentially get into this, even if it's hard, but our tutorial mode right now is more of a, like, these are the basics, and now you go. If we adjust the tutorial mode more to a level where every system is explained to a certain point, I think this should be no problem. But yeah, we need more modes. Right now, the changes to the map generation to having the possibility to say I want my lake distance short to my town center is already like a thing of an easy mode. And we adjusted some systems regarding the water and the food collection and how settlers deal with their resources, so it has been made a bit easier. Yeah, but being able to decide if you want it hard or not, definitely. Do we have a school already? So I always go for electricity first. Refinery is usually the last building. The last building is a refinery for you, but why? It's just so efficient. Oh boy, in doing this, what I'm doing right now. Just give me a second. Where can I miss someone to be working at right now? Actually, just a builder, and I don't need him. And no, I do not have a school. Last run, if I remember correctly, I built a school pretty early on, and you're right, actually, I should build a school. I just need the efficiency. So once again, where's my roster here? Let's build it as centralized as possible. Build next. Well, now I need some... Well, I could deassign some water carriers, actually. Or... Yeah, I will deassign a water carrier. 6 recyclers do the job for a long time. But 6... Well, yeah, they do, probably. But it feels so weird for me to build 6 of these buildings. I try to build a school together with the first hut, so I have adequate elements from the start. Yep. Actually, you're probably completely right about that. This should be... Oh, I forgot about the missions. Yeah, we didn't tackle that. Having a school early on is actually pretty strong. So is there... I do not remember. The education doesn't state how much more efficient they are. I guess it was like 50%, so it's a good start. That paired with the solar collector. It's good, yeah. It's good.